Hey folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. You know, I always post about the deep state, so you know I like you. I really do. I actually like the guy, you know, but Rick Day, okay, Rick, I'm sorry. You posted, offer still stands, $100 donation to Trump campaign if you can prove, actual proof a deep state exists and it is targeting Trump. If you can't, you donate $27 to Bernie 2020. Rick, are you out of your tie-dyed t-shirt Democrat delusional mind? Are you? Come on, you know there's a deep state out there. So, let's go. All right, let's go to this right here. Yesterday, the president was at the gave a speech at the Economic Club yesterday, right? Is that what it was? And the reason they do not, okay, here's another take on this. I'm going to read it in a minute. The reason they do not play this on the media because the media is the president is probably a little too much common sense. So we don't have it's an hour speech. He did a great job, but let's go where we have it teed up this morning so you can hear two different subjects I want to talk about. Go ahead, let's go to where we have it teed up for the president.
In many ways, an environmentalist, believe it or not. When I build buildings, I did the best environmental impact statements. I know the game better than anybody. And I used to go and see my consultants that I was paying a lot of money, environmental consultants. They'd be up in Albany. And I'd say, what are they doing up here? Well, they were trying to make it more difficult, so we'd have to hire them and pay them even more money than we were paying them now. And I know what it is, but to me, it's clean air and crystal clean, clear water. And we have now the cleanest air we've ever had in our country, and meaning over the last 40 years. I guess 200 years ago was cleaner, but there was nothing around, right? I'm not sure that it was much cleaner. You want to know that? But I want clean air. I want clean water environmentally. If you take a look, we discussed the Paris Climate Accord. That would just put us out of business. We're sending money all over. We're doing things that are unnecessary. It would have been a catastrophe. So I'm very much into climate, but I want the cleanest air on the planet, and I have to have cleaner water. And you know, when people ask the question, you're part of the question about climate, I always say, you know, I have a little problem. We have a relatively small piece of land, the United States. And you compare that to some of the other countries like China, like India, like Russia, like many other countries that absolutely are doing absolutely nothing to clean up their smokestacks and clean up all of their plants and all of the garbage that they're dropping in sea and that floats into Los Angeles, along with other problems that Los Angeles has, by the way. Isn't it amazing it ends up in Los Angeles? So, what a mess that is. But when you see this happening, nobody wants to talk about it. They want to talk about our country. We have to do this. We can't have planes any longer. We can't have cows any longer. We can't have anything. I said, what about China? I don't think they're going to subscribe to a poor student coming up with 12 years. You know, I actually heard the other day some pretty good politician. I've seen him around for a long time. Nice white hair. Everything's like central casting. You could put the guy in a movie. He was talking. I don't know if he believes this, but he was a Democrat. He said, we have 11 years. It's the first time I've heard 12. But now, see, it's been a year, so now they think we have 11 years to live. I don't know, folks. I think these people have gone totally loco. But we are, you know, they will kill our industry. They don't want oil. I mean, go to Texas. Tell Texas there will be no more drilling. There will be no more oil and gas. We'll put hundreds of thousands of people out of work. We won't fuel our factories. And now you're talking about millions and millions of people. And you're talking about a country that couldn't even exist. These people, I almost don't know. Is this politics? Because I think it's bad politics. I think it's bad politics. But we have to be very careful. And you know, recently I walked into a meeting and I was with a group of people that have, you know, generally I didn't like. I never liked them. It's a certain group of people. I have my likes and dislikes in life. And I walked into a room, there were a couple of hundred people, very substantial people. And I said, listen, I don't have to make a long speech. Here's the story. I don't like you. You don't like me. You have no choice but to vote for me. And you will do whatever you have to do. And they said, yes, sir, we will. We will. You think you're doing a great job. The truth is, look, you have no choice. Because the people we're running against are crazy. Okay? They're crazy. And I have to say this. I don't think there is that much. I think the biggest risk is the election. I'll be honest. I think the biggest risk, because I actually believe some of these people mean what they say. I really believe that. And it's just not acceptable. We have a very important election coming up. I think we're going to do very well. I think we're going to win it. I think we're going to win it hopefully easily, but it doesn't matter as long as we win it by a vote. But it's going to be something very important for all of you. I have to say I have great respect for what all of you have done. I know so many of you, and we want to keep it going that way. Our country is strong. Our country is great. Our economy is probably the best it's ever been, and we want to keep it that way. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Go back to me. So much has been left out of the clip. See, I did that for a reason, because the clip today around all of the media is you have no choice because you have no choice. I don't like you, you don't like me, you don't have no choice because the people we're running against are crazy. That's the clip all day. They didn't go 2 minutes in front of it and talk about clean air and the climate. No. They did not highlight, they are not highlighting the applause after that comment. No. The President of the United States gave that speech to the Economic Club of New York. Now, they're going to lead you to believe, if you're watching ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, MSNBC, all the above, they're going to lead you to believe that the President of the United States actually said to the people at the Economic Club of New York, you don't like me and I don't like you. They're going to leave out that the president went into a meeting with about 100 people he knew didn't like him. This is not yesterday. He went in this meeting knowing they didn't like him, so he went in knowing that he needed to just say, look, let's clear the air. You don't like me, I don't like you. But that is being left out. Okay? The comments concerning this environmental impact study. Now, when the President of the United States builds any of his resorts, he has to hire people to make an environmental impact study and then present it. Big money. Costs big money to do that. He understands. He stood up there and he said, I want clean air and crystal clean water. I want the air for everybody to be clean, all right? Clean air, clean water. I'm very much into climate. He said, I'm very much into climate. But, okay, we are small in comparison, all right? He made too many points on common sense. We are small in comparison. All right? Now, meteorologists, scientists, everybody is doing any kind of study where weather is concerned want to make it totally your and my fault because we use a plastic straw. They want to make it your and my fault because our water bottles are plastic. The list goes on and on and on. It's our fault. We've destroyed the world, according to them. We could change the world just because we got out of something. We've ruined the world again. We wrecked the entire world because we did not stay in the Paris Climate Accords or whatever it was, okay? But what he's saying in comparison, okay? I mean, we have all this stuff that floats from other countries out to LA. They're getting stuff out of the ocean every single day. It floats across the Pacific from these countries. Look at China. Look at Russia. As he said, they're doing absolutely nothing. Nothing. And the Paris Climate Accord was to do one thing, folks. I know we're not talking impeachment. The Paris Climate Accord was to do one thing and one thing only. What was it to do? Put us out of business. You know, Trump said to these people, let me go down to Texas, okay? You think China's going to do a no-cow policy? Really? And now we have only 11 years to live. We did have 12. We have 11. And he says to this room of people that, hey, they're not on the same page, all right? The Economic Club of New York. This speech is not being presented, just that little clip. I don't like you and you don't like me. But you got no choice. You got to vote for me. He laid out everything yesterday. If you don't like me, you got to vote for me. You don't have a choice because they're totally loco, folks. Totally loco. Okay? Never liked this group. I walked into this group. I never liked them. They don't like me. All right? But he said you have no choice because the people that we're running against are crazy. Remember, are crazy. So don't forget what the media will not play for you. Now, this is a club, and it's the Economic Club of New York, and you know, they don't wear the red hat, and they don't break out in the real hard hand claps, and they don't break into the, you know, double finger whistles like go. And there was enough that you could hear a major applause. When the president said you have no choice because the people we're running against are crazy, the room broke out in New York Economic Club in applause. And I'm telling you now, the Democrats do not have a candidate. They're crazy as hell. And the president's right, you got no choice. So I'm going to take a brief break and then we're going to come back and take the last 30 minutes and just do impeachment, impeachment, impeachment. Take a break.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling